Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to cut through the noise and give you the core insights on fascinating topics. And today, well, we're tackling a vegetable that, let's be honest, gets a pretty bad rap sometimes. The Brussels sprout.
Ah, yes. The underdog.
Yeah.
Definitely. But, our goal today is look at the sources and figure out why these little things are so often called a, quote, nutritional powerhouse.
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot more going on there for overall well-being.
That's exactly it. The sources we looked at weren't just basic nutrition guides.
Mhm.
They really zeroed in on things like detoxification, immune support, internal balance, that kind of thing. So the mission for you listening, by the end of this, you'll get the key compounds, the top 5 health benefits, and even some pretty surprising traditional uses. It's your shortcut to really knowing this vegetable.
Okay, so where do we start? I think we need to get down to the molecular level first, because when you actually look at the sheer density of compounds packed inside these tiny cabbages, it's quite remarkable chemistry.
All right, let's unpack that. Beyond just being green, what are the sort of foundational vitamins making up this profile?
Well, the foundation really rests on 2 heavy hitters. First, you've got really high levels of vitamin C, and that's crucial, obviously, for immunity, but also collagen production, helps you absorb iron, even boosts skin health, a real multitasker.
Okay, C for immunity and skin. Got it. What's the other one?
Vitamin K, absolutely essential. This one's key for maintaining strong bones and also making sure your blood clots properly when needed.
So covering structure and basic defense. But what about the internal systems, like gut health, brain function? Anything special there?
Oh, absolutely. That's where the fiber really shines. High fiber content is critical, not just for, keeping things moving digestively, but maybe more importantly, it feeds your gut microbiome. Those good bacteria, they love this stuff.
Right, fuel for the gut bugs. Makes sense.
And paired with that fiber is folate. That's vitamin B9. The sources point to its role in supporting brain health and even helping to balance mood.
Interesting. But let's be real. The buzz around these sprouts in wellness circles, it isn't just the fiber or vitamin C, is it? It's those special compounds, the ones that help, clean house. We have to talk about the detox aspect.
Yes, absolutely. This is where we shift from, let's say, basic nutrition to more functional chemistry. The first group to mention are antioxidants. Specifically, one called camphorol stands out. Its main job, reducing chronic inflammation and fighting oxidative stress throughout your body. Basically protecting your cells.
Okay, camphorol for anti-inflammation. But the one I keep hearing about, the powerhouse compound, sulforaphane. Tell us about that one. And how does it connect to something called glucosinolates? You mentioned that was in the source material.
Right, sulforaphane, it's fascinating actually, because it isn't just there in the sprout waiting, it's created dynamically. See, the sources explain that Brussels sprouts contain these precursors called glucosinolates. Then when you chop, chew, or damage the sprout cells, an enzyme called myrosinase gets released. And that enzyme converts the glucosinolates into the active sulforaphane.
Hold on. So the benefit isn't static. It only gets released when we physically break down the sprout. That changes everything about how you prepare them, doesn't it?
Precisely. Preparation method becomes key. And that active sulforaphane is the compound that's so important for supporting phase 2 liver detoxification. It essentially helps your body process and filter out potentially harmful stuff from the environment. The sources even suggest it offers protection right down at the cellular level.
Wow. Okay. That is genuinely a game changer if you're just like steaming them whole.
Yeah.
So we've got this complex picture, vitamin C, vitamin K, fiber, folate, and these powerful dynamic detox compounds like camphorol and especially sulforaphane. What does all this chemistry actually do for you? Let's connect the dots. What are the top 5 health benefits?
Okay, let's map those compounds to real-world effects. Benefit number 1, maybe unsurprisingly, is natural detoxification.
Back to the liver support.
Exactly. Those sulfur compounds and the glucosinolate to sulforaphane pathway we just talked about, they're actively helping the liver break down and get rid of toxins more efficiently.
Makes sense. Okay, benefit number 2.
That would be the immune boost and healing. We mentioned the high vitamin C earlier, but it's worth stressing that the sources directly link this to stronger immune defenses, faster wound healing, and that nice side effect of more radiant skin is quite systemic.
Systemic healer. I like that. All right, moving on. Benefit 3.
This one focuses right on the gut, promoting digestive health. So the fiber, as we said, helps with regularity, feeds the good gut bacteria, and the sources also emphasize that this digestive support can play a role in helping to stabilize blood sugar levels too.
Good gut, stable sugar. Nice. Number 4. This feels like a big one today. Anti-inflammation. because chronic inflammation seems linked to almost everything, right? Heart issues, stress.
It really does, and this raises a key question for you listening. How do
Okay.
you actively dial down that low-grade background inflammation? Well, the sources are pretty clear. That concentrated burst of antioxidants, especially the camphor we mentioned, is crucial for fighting that fire, keeping things calmer systemically.
Okay, fighting the internal fire. And the fifth benefit, you said this one was quite specialized.
Yes, particularly relevant perhaps for metabolic health, and its hormonal balance. This is something quite unique to cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts. They contain specific compounds that actually help the body's natural systems process and clear out excess estrogen more effectively.
Whoa, okay, so it's not about getting rid of all estrogen, but managing it better.
Exactly. It's about supporting a healthier ratio of different estrogen metabolites. Maintaining that proper balance is really key for overall internal wellness, for everyone, actually.
That's an incredible amount of sophisticated biological activity packed into such a, well, humble vegetable. Okay, let's get practical, because I have to confess, I grew up hating boiled Brussels sprouts. That smell. Did the sources give any clues why boiling is so bad for them, beyond just the taste and smell?
You nailed it. That's the perfect setup for this next bit. Preparation is everything. The sources explicitly warn against overboiling. Why? Well, first, you lose a lot of those water-soluble vitamins, like the C. But maybe worse, boiling seems to activate the wrong chemical reactions, releasing those really bitter, sulfurous compounds that give them that infamous smell and taste.
Uh-huh. Vindication.
Mm,
So no sad, gray, watery sprouts.
yeah.
The advice is roast or saute.
Definitely. For the best flavor and nutrient punch, the sources really highlighted garlic roasted Brussels sprouts. The technique seems pretty specific. Half them, toss with olive oil, garlic, maybe some herbs, then roast them hot like 400 Fahrenheit or 200 Celsius for about 20-25 minutes. You want them nicely brown, maybe a little crispy and tender inside.
Okay. And a squeeze of lemon or a tiny bit of honey at the end.
Yeah, that really brightens them up. A great finishing touch.
And if you prefer the stovetop, there was a quick saute method too, right?
Yes, the lemon honey sautéed version. For this, you typically shred the sprouts first, thinly slice them, then sauté quickly in a good fat like coconut oil or ghee, just until they turn bright green and soften up a bit. Toss with lemon juice, a touch of honey, salt. Delicious. And that shredding, remember, that maximizes the sulforaphane release we talked about earlier.
Right, because you're breaking down more cell walls.
Smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just a quick tip on buying them. Look for ones that are firm, bright green, with tightly packed leaves. Avoid any that look yellow or feel soft.
Good tip. Okay, but now, let's pivot. You mentioned the sources went beyond just cooking into traditional uses, maybe even DIY remedies.
Yes, this is where it gets really interesting, moving away from the kitchen a bit. This connects back to folk medicine traditions.
This part genuinely surprised me when reviewing the sources. The first one is an immune boost digestive tonic, made with raw sprouts. That's right. The whole point here is using them raw to get the maximum dose of those live enzymes and the full hit of vitamin C, which cooking can degrade. The recipe was something like blend half a cup of raw sprouts, maybe the smaller, tenderer ones, with half a cucumber, half a green apple, about a teaspoon of fresh ginger, and a bit of water to get it moving. But the key instruction was blend it and drink it immediately. Don't let it sit. Capture those live goodies for your gut, immune system, and liver support.
Wow, okay, so you're literally drinking that raw, activated detox power.
Yeah.
Intense. And the final one was completely unexpected for me, using the actual leaves externally
Yep.
as a compress.
An anti-inflammatory warm compress. Isn't that fascinating? This is apparently a very traditional remedy for soothing sore, swollen, or tender joints. The method described was to gently warm several of the larger outer leaves again, not cooking them, just warming them slightly, maybe over some steam or in warm water briefly. Then you apply those warm leaves directly onto the affected joint, wrap it with a cloth to keep them in place and hold the warmth, and leave it for 20 to 30 minutes.
How does that even work?
The idea, traditionally, is that the warmth combined with compounds possibly released from the leaves helps support circulation to the area and reduce that localized inflammation and tenderness. Direct physical application.
That is just incredible versatility.
Yeah.
From protecting your cells inside with sulforaphane to potentially soothing joints on the outside, these really are more than just a side dish, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're like a highly efficient delivery system for some really beneficial plant compounds. Whether you're aiming to boost immunity, help balance hormones, support detox, or just promote overall wellness, they seem to offer this comprehensive support for your body's chemistry, a true healing food, according to the sources.
Fantastic summary. So for everyone listening, you now know the key. Cutting or chewing the sprout unlocks that powerful detox compound, sulforaphane. You know they fight inflammation, thanks to antioxidants like camphorol. And they even play a role in hormonal balance by helping manage estrogen metabolites. So here's a final thought to chew on this week. Given how powerful these sprouts are, especially with their detoxification and anti-inflammatory benefits, and knowing that some of the best benefits, like that sulforaphane kick, might come from not overcooking them or even using them raw, what's the simplest, easiest way for you to start getting these benefits into your routine? Maybe it's shredding some raw sprouts into your next salad or slaw, or perhaps you're adventurous enough to try that potent raw digestive tonic. Think about it. Find one simple way to activate that sulforaphane and start tapping into this molecular marvel this week. Thanks for diving deep with us today.